Hello everybody, this is episode 62 of the Pentagon Challenge, where we'll be playing a Shanghai derby against Hangzhou at the Hangzhou Stadium, and the stakes in this early season game are very, very high, as high as they can be, as things are not going according to plan. We are way down the table in 13th position with only one win to show for our efforts all season, and it's clear that the harmony in the dressing room has totally disappeared over the winter period. I don't know how it's happened, but losing Champions League football on the last day, that shouldn't have been too big of an issue. I've strengthened in the winter as well. I just don't know what on earth has happened, but anyway, as things stand, we're only 3 points clear of the relegation zone. We have not won any of our home games, and it's allowed the likes of Shangang and Shandong to run away with the league title race, and the only win we have is from an away from home game, but we've been extremely poor. Only 4 goals in 7 games. Absolutely pathetic for a team that was running wild just a few months into the past, and something has to be done. Like, I can't really change my tactics because I've had a few key players injured, and I need to get a win from somewhere. And Hangzhou are 4 points clear of us. They are right in the mid-table. They're 7th position. They did lose their last game, but we have to do even better than that. Make sure they win. They lose twice in a row, but any more mistakes and we will be in the relegation zone like we were when we became manager and club back in 2019 or something like that. So I've been desperately trying to make my way out. I knew losing Champions League football was the final straw. I had to go, but there were no vacancies available to me that were of interest. Like I talked to you about Sydney, they went for the inexperienced manager, and it seems to be paying off for them. But Wellington Phoenix is a bit of a quagmire, as they do not have the rights to enter the Asian Champions League despite being in the A-League, as of course they belong to New Zealand technically. But either way, Sydney FC, how they're getting on, like if I had got that job, I probably would have done better. I don't know. But anyway, they're not winning the A-League, so it's probably not the end of the world. But the Wellington Phoenix have nothing to play for this season. I'm not going to apply for that job, so I'm just waiting for the right chance to come up, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, anyway, enough about the negatives. Let's just get on with these results to look at. So you saw on the opening day, we barely got the 1-1 draw. That set the tone for the campaign, as we lost to Beikong by 2-1. We lost to Guangzhou. They fully deserved that win, I must admit. Like, they were just a class above. We were held to a goalless draw at Meizu. We got our one win of the season against Urban, and I felt that was the moment when we'd turn it around, but remarkably that was not the case, as we conceded in the 90th minute against Huaxia Xingfu. They were very dogged to get that result, and I just felt the guys let me down in that one. And then in this evenly matched contest, actually no, it wasn't, and it was totally the opposite, but Yangsu got their breakthrough in the 72nd minute, and we just didn't look like scoring after that. So to have picked this game at the very start of the season as the one to play, well, I couldn't have got it any more spot on, as a loss here will mean real doom, as Renhe, Yanbian, Fuli, Changchun and Shandong all approach us in the next couple of weeks. We only have one midweek game against Changchun. We're not playing the games twice a week, which I kind of would have preferred, because I don't know who my best players are from top to bottom. Like, I know some of them obviously, but most of the guys are not playing well, and I have to drop them, meaning someone else has to take the mantle. And Wang Zihao has been the dominant goal scorer. He has 3 in 3 starts, but he's not really that consistent either. Like, we're just not doing a good job, and it needs to change. And this is the game I've nominated for that change. And we'll take a look at the injuries that we have to deal with Radaby is only just coming back from injury now. Karadzic is still miserable. I want to get rid of him as soon as possible. Yang Kuo's a hefty blow with the double hernia he picked up in training, like he was doing superbly as usual. Lee Song-yi has just been injured. He'll be back very soon. But Nika Chanchuria is also injured, and that's just another devastating blow as well. He's a star defender for us. Peng Changming is finally back as well, and he'll hopefully get his first goal of the season in this live comm. A bit tired, it's late at night when I'm recording this, so forgive me for the lack of enthusiasm, but this is the starting 11 I've gone with. We have to get some goals. Like, 1 goal a game is hardly ever enough, especially when we've only won by a single goal on one occasion, and that wasn't even at home. So to get our first home win of the season should result in a healthier prospect for us, but to be in the depths of desperation that we're in right now, it just undoes all the hard work we did together over the last couple of years. Like, I don't want to leave the club fighting for relegation, because that's where I found them, and to win the league title and then throw it all away like this is absolutely unbearable. So we'll take a look at the lineups properly now. Dujia, Eddie Francois, Gao Zunyi, Mohamed Ibrahim, Wang Shengchao, Yang Zifei, Jovanovski, Geng Zonglin, Li Taxiang, Wang Zihao and Peng Changming for us, and they've got the identical formation, but we'll see how their players compared to ours. They've got Gu Ming, he's not so good. Shi Wei, not so good. Chogadze from Georgia looks fantastic. I wonder where they got him. They do find their tasty prospects, and they actually got him from Sione in his native Georgia. And then Dai Fei, not so good. So this is a beatable team. Like, I don't know how they're doing so well, but I'm sure you could say that about other clubs around the world in real life, like Angers in France, or the less obvious one, like, who I'm talking about, if you want to talk or if you want to bring up surprise packages in the world of football. But I'm sure they'll be celebrating in the next couple of weeks with their phenomenal achievement. But let's try and emulate that, go for the win, and come from the bottom all the way back up to the top, where I believe the club belongs. The team talk not going so well, but we're trying to recover the situation, and it looks healthier now, but you can just see how desperately poor the team is. No one in the starting 11 has an assist, and only one of them has scored a goal, and that is Wang Zihao. So let's change that statistic today. Let's beat our local rivals and get back on track, as we've nothing else to be doing with our time. So let's get cracking, and let's put the ball into the back of the net as often as possible. Here we go, just waiting for the load time. Let me just take a moment. Yeah, it's still a bit slow. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Kick off. Our centre backs get on the ball. Jovanovski returns to the goalkeeper, and that'll hopefully calm the nerves. In the first 20 seconds, there's a hopeful through ball early. Geng Zonglin to Li Taxiang, and Rongsha had to dive almost through the net to keep that one out from Li Taxiang. Here's Peng, who scored nearly 20 goals last season. Dai Fei, interception. We'll be needing those 20 goals again from young man Peng. See if he can do it once more here. But on the other end of the spectrum, we've got Dai Fei and Muzapir Guming to Dai Fei. Nearly there. Oh, Dujia saves. Oh, well, that would have been absolutely pathetic if we conceded that goal. But thankfully, Dujia is not going to become mediocre on me overnight, and we'll just have to keep pushing and demand the goal as soon as possible. The passing is good, possession's good, we just need more shots. Dai Fei beats 2 defenders, Dujia hits the post, and just as I say, Mira Mehchan Musapir has made it 1-0. I'm absolutely disgusted by this. What is wrong with Shenzhou this year? It can't be down to just one player. It's a systematic failure in the dressing room. That could have been 2-0, but Guming was offside. Come on, guys, cop the hell on. Ibrahim clears only as far as Daifei. Chogadze cleared by Eddie Francois. Now we have a counter-attack. The wingers need to get on their bikes. Jovanovski to Peng, and Taxian curls it wide. That would have been a very useful goal, but it was never going in. This is just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Come on. Wang Zihao. Jovanovski. Li Taxiang. Lovely pass. Peng with a finesse shot hits the legs of the outstretched defender, and that cross just landed neatly into the hands of the keeper. None of our crosses have landed. We'll have to pump the ball into the box. More direct passing. Get something going. This is just disastrous. I'll have to resign if this keeps going on, but I don't want to if the team is going to be absolutely dire. But Shen Qiao wins it back. Wang Zihao, Li Taxiang, Peng Changming, Yang Zifei over to Taxiang using his experience, and Wang Zihao cuts inside, blocked. Oh, it's saved and cleared. Peng Changming not alert to the rebound, and we'll just have to get creative, guys. This is not good. Come on now. We have a free kick. Ibrahim to take. Jovanovski, Li Taxiang to Gang Zonglin. Thank goodness. It's right in the bottom corner. Absolutely priceless goal, but we have to concentrate. Giving away a second goal would make this an Everest of a mountain to climb, and we just need that second goal. It's not coming. We'll have to go into half time and say we're not doing well enough. Jovanovski giving a warning. Yeah, that confirms I'm tired. Not just of my players, I'm tired physically, so I have to say I'm not happy to be 1-1 against our local rivals when we've been a good team over the years. It's just not acceptable. So we'll turn that off and we'll turn that on, see what we can do. Who needs to really improve? Well, the wing backs, absolutely, that's a warning sign immediately. Eddie Francois, you can do something else. Would be a support fullback, help out Gang as best you can. So anyway, some guys doing well, some guys not so well. We'll just have to hurry up and score in the second half, because if we win we could go into the top half of the table tied with Beijing. Shen Qiao on a caution, cannot afford a sending off. Passion is the name of the game here, but we need those 3 points. We need them now. Guangzhou have scored. The reigning champions are up to second in the league after 8 games. Here's Jovanovski to Wang Zihao. There, Shen Qiao of old. It's starting to creep through the skeleton of our miserable season, and at last we're 2 goals in 1 game. It's Peng Changming getting his account open for the new year, and it looks like I'll have to take some of these players off as they're on a yellow card. Tao Jian pops into my mind that he deserves a chance. And I'm also going to try... could I take off? I think Taxiang looks tired. Ziyang can't play there though, so we'll just put him there, and then Wang Zihao can be the shadow striker. He is familiar with the position, but we need to go and try and win the game from here. The 2 substitutions come on. Lickety split, but now we have the set piece. Jovanovski clears, but only once. He couldn't get the second opportunity. Good save, Dujia. He now belts it forward. Not allowed in my tactic, but now Daifei might get the second goal for Hangzhou, but thankfully not. It's cleared. Musapir. Guming was offside in my mind, but not in the mind of the assistant referee. We'll have to show more passion. Jurchen is on. He's a centre back, so he's not an immediate threat. Peng Changming can't get there. Ziyang, one of only 3 goal scorers, or only 4 goal scorers in the entire team. Here's Peng trying the selfless opportunity, but now Guming has a chance to counter. Yang Zifei dives into a tackle. He's already seen red in the campaign, and now he has a yellow, so I'm not going to play with fire again this year, so he must come off immediately. But the problem is I don't know who I'm going to bring on. See, Jovanovski's not a defensive-minded midfielder. Oh, this is tough. Oh dear. I think Hui Kang, he has to play. No one else can fill that role. Zun Yi to Si Fei. Jovanovski from Zihao beats a defender. Peng Changming just needs to look behind. He does! And there's the shadow striker role played to perfection. 3-1, game over. And season rescued, just like it was my debut year when I beat these guys in a must-win affair. And now we'll just have to concentrate on finishing in the top 5. It's within our grasp. We'll just go defensive now. We can shut out the game. Being boring is necessary at this point. So everything can go. It can be turned down. Waste time. Thank you. So there we go. It feels a lot nicer to be in the top half of the table, but we have to do a lot better than this. Look at league leader Shangang, 20 points out of 24. We're nowhere near that tally, and it's not acceptable that we're not showing any fight to try and regain the title we lost just a year ago. But Peng Changming leathers it home for 4-1, and I can have a broad smile on my face now. Hangzhou still above us in the table, but I think we will overtake them in the coming weeks if we play like this again. So at last we have our first home win of the season. It's only taken us 8 games, but we'll have to go on a hot streak from this point on if we're going to be taken seriously this year. We could be a lousy failure. And a last minute goal for Shangang. They have won again, and they could regain the title they've also seen disappear from their stadium. So that will conclude this one-sided affair, and you can't underestimate the value of a win like that. We were looking pathetic and miserable in the first half, but then we turned on the style. We've got goals from Zonglin, Zihao, and then Peng Changming finally back from injury. That means the world, and we'll just have to say a massive result. It's nice to keep on moving. We need to maintain it. That's absolute. So our second win of the season puts us in 8th place, but we'll have to get away from the drop zone and get into the top 3. But that looks like an impossible task in the coming months. So we'll just try and look for the jobs market. I'll leave that permanently open, but let's just concentrate on fixing Shentra before demanding my official exit. But this job will have to be done as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you sometime into the future. I don't know when the season will pick itself up, but until then I'll speak to you again later. Bye.